Hi, welcome back to Keep Heading East. I'm Murray from the YSC Cookery School, and if you're joining us again, then welcome back. If you're joining this series for the first time, then you've joined us in Sri Lanka. You can check out the main introduction to this series by clicking the on-screen link in the cards, or follow the link in the description below to our free PDF cookbook with all the dishes that we're covering in this series. Or if you prefer to have a printed version, then one's available as well. Now, Sri Lankan cuisine is well known for its particular combinations of herbs, spices, fish, vegetables, rices and fruit. It's highly centered around many varieties of rice, as well as coconut, which grows everywhere throughout the country. Seafood also plays a significant role in the cuisine, be it fresh fish or preserved fish. As a country that was the hub of the historic oceanic silk trade, contact with foreign traders brought new food items and cultural influences in addition to the local traditions, all of which has helped to sort of shape Sri Lankan cuisine. Influences from India, in particular Southern Indian, as we mentioned in our last episode, Indonesian and Dutch cuisines are probably the most noticeable examples. Sri Lanka was historically really famous for its cinnamon and the true cinnamon tree, or cinnamon verum. It's really widely utilized in Sri Lanka, and it's sort of a more delicate, sweet taste in comparison to cinnamon kasa, which is like the Chinese cinnamon. It's the harder one it's a bit more like bark. It's the cinnamon that's more common in other Southern Asian cuisines. There's a quick 2-minute clip which I've left in the end cards that takes you inside a Sri Lankan cinnamon factory in case you're interested. Now, as I said, Sri Lankan cuisine is characterized by its unique spice blends and its heavy use of Sri Lankan cinnamon, as well as black pepper, Maldive fish, pandan leaf, lemongrass, and jaggery, which is a really sweet raw sugar. Spices such as fenugreek, cardamom, cumin, fennel seeds, cloves, and coriander, they're all sort of either used whole or ground up. And then there's the wet paste. So you have wet paste of garlic, ginger, turmeric, and it's often added in big chunks, while curry leaves and pandan leaves are used fresh and often tempered with mustard seeds to finish off a dal, known as a taka. Now, black pepper was native to the island and was probably one of the most powerful spices used in Sri Lankan cooking before spicy peppers arrived on the colonial trading ships. Nowadays, there's more than 60 varieties of chilies grown on the island, but black pepper curries still are quite popular on menus here and there. And they're really worth trying. And much like our South Indian keema from the cookbook last week, it offers a really different type of heat. Tea is also an important beverage throughout the country, and Sri Lankan is known for producing some of the world's finest tea. Sri Lankan food is not for the faint-hearted either. The curries are fiery, and the sweet caramelized onion sambols and sour lime pickles are all really dominant and powerful flavors. I guess they're kind of designed to wake you up in the really dense, hot island air. While you might find sort of watered down versions of Sri Lankan cuisine off the island, outside of Sri Lanka's borders, you can guarantee that when you eat the food on the island, it will really slap you in the face and get your metabolism firing. Every rice and curry is served with a pulse sambal. It's a scraped coconut condiment that varies in spiciness from table to table. And I've left a link in the end cards for a video showing you how to make it. I have to say, I've long given up on the pestle and mortar in favour of an electric spice grinder. For my money, they're worth it, and you can pick up a small spice or coffee bean grinder for $10 on Amazon or at a home appliance shop. Now, the purists will argue that a spice grinder isn't as authentic and doesn't give you the same authentic flavour, but I'd argue that with a spice grinder, I'm much more likely to grind the seeds and the paste from scratch than dig out some old pre-ground spices from the back of the cupboard, because I can't really be bothered wasting 15 minutes to grind them all down by hand. That's just my personal opinion. If you've got the time and the energy to use a pestle or mortar, then great. And on that note, let me show you this little wizard. This is a Premier Super G blender. This is my all-time favorite in blenders because unlike other blenders, It's incredibly simple, versatile, and it literally is impossible to destroy the motor. It comes with 3 different bowls. The first one is a small grinder for dry spices and things. Just clips in the top. The next one up is a wet paste grinder, and the bigger one is for bigger wet paste and things. It's nearly a litre in it, so it's good for doing smooth soups and purees and everything like that. It makes a really fine job of wet paste for your curries, and the small one is great for spices. I also use this quite a lot for making gels and small amounts, if I'm only doing for 4 or 6 people, small amounts of puree and things like that. So it's really versatile. It's a hell of a motor in it, and it's virtually indestructible. Now, the real distinction in Sri Lankan cuisine isn't necessarily just the individual spices used, but more the dominance that they're used. Spices are always toasted in a dry pan or roasted in an oven, or they're fried in mustard oil before they're used in a curry, and the latter is known as tempering, where the oil is infused with the spices before it's added. Often a curry is finished with a smattering of fried spices and mustard seeds and things like that, to really give that last punch of flavour. With so much variety in this country, we've included 2 entries into our book this week. The first is a Sri Lankan coconut dal, with tomatoes and curry leaves, and the other is a monkfish and prawn mean curry. It's kind of a little bit like a korma. It's quite a thin, vibrant curry with turmeric and ginger and garlic and cashews. So I hope you'll enjoy both of those. So that's it for this stop on our Keep Heading East tour of global cuisine. I hope you've enjoyed it. Links are on screen now for the videos I mentioned earlier if you'd like to see a little more from the region. And remember, for our subscribers, there's a fantastic cookbook to accompany this series. So if you haven't already, hit subscribe and grab yourself a free PDF copy of our cookbook, or if you prefer a hard copy, the links are there as well. Thanks for watching. See you soon.